the game. So, alright, let's turn down the volume a bit. Just a wee bit. My ears do not like this sensitivity. There's not really much music going on right now. Even if I want it to. Okay, so let's talk about what I've been doing as of late. As you can tell, this is not the main account. Come on. This is because of the sheer fact that I decided to try something new. What is that new thing? Well, I'm deciding on doing challenge accounts based on weapons.
I'm starting to lose count.
Thank you, Beta. Now, why have I decided to do something like that? Well, as we can understand, I've gone pretty far in the main account, and I kind of don't want to do the Sumeru Archon quests on my main account. On the shared account, there's only so much I can do, and I've kind of done that, and right now I'm doing artifact farmings for those particular accounts. The challenge accounts I've decided to do as a more personal thing instead of making, you know, episodes and stuff, because other people have been doing it, and, you know, it's kind of just a rinse and repeat. Hey, Nuzlocke 4 stars, or Nuzlocke 5 stars, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I figured I'd do something kind of just more amazing, you know, kind of fun. And since I split this into, like, 3 different challenges, so I got the claymores, the bows, and the polearms, I figured I'd do characters that I either don't use very often based on their weapons, or weapon characters that I thought were pretty cool, or maybe I kind of just want to build better on my main, and we go from there, you know, that kind of thing. So this allows me to get better acquainted with characters whom I don't use very often on my main or the share, because in the end of the day, I am a D-Luke and a Kaya main. I mean, it hurts every single time for me to bench Kaya.
Nice. I'm starting to lose count.
But swords, I already kind of have a really good grasp on, because I played a lot of sword characters. And I mean a lot. I think the only time I really don't play characters that aren't swords is D-Luke, Changyu, kind of. Razor was for a while gonna be like my main, and then I got D-Luke finally. But I decided that I wanted to save my precious time and efforts for D-Luke at the time. So this kind of just allows me to really get a better understanding of characters like Beto, Noelle, who I was building up to be kind of that healer, and I'm getting kind of a better grasp on what I can do with her as kind of a support type for both shields and her healing capability. Polearms, the polearms only account. I have made, you know, not too long ago. Oh, hi.
Leave it all to me.
So, right now, I'm just trying to get this account up to where the others are kind of are in the AR, and then I'll get working on them to better get the commissions, slowly start being able to do the Abyss Spiral, you know, that kind of stuff. And I figure that maybe if...
First round's on me.
Thank you, Beta. If I want to... Woo, they fell. That one didn't die. Now it's dead. I figured that maybe if I wanted to do some recordings or stuff, I would do live recordings of me getting these characters up. You know, because fresh. From the main account, that I don't have much resources from the main to really do that kind of stuff to those characters.
The
So,
more the merrier.
well,
First
like,
round's on me.
I like Sino. I don't use Sino. But I do like him, and that's why I rolled for him. I have no regrets rolling any particular characters. I mean, like, Kokomi was my best healer. And so I keep Kokomi as built as possible because my Kokomi, even at level 70, is like the greatest healer. I don't plan to make a series out of my challenge accounts either. Most people would, but I just don't plan to. Because, as I stated, other people have been doing these kinds of challenges, and I was inspired. But I felt like this is more like a personal improvement kind of thing, where I will build the characters, get better acquainted with them, get a better understanding of how to build them, what kind of artifacts, in my opinion, would work with them in my playstyle, and then go from there. It does take a lot. Let's be honest. If you guys do want this kind of content from me, though, well, that'd be entertaining. So far, I've been kind of not live streaming as of late, because we've had, life has rocked the boat a bit. And so we've had, like, appointments, real life issues, a bit of drama, but that's real life issues. And so things have been kind of rocky, but we're kind of starting to pick it back up. Well, I am trying to. It gets really hard because I am someone who easily, once procrastination comes in, it's all I know. So it becomes kind of difficult to really not procrastinate after a point. So, but I plan to get back to the loading, you know, get back to the live stream schedules. The chats with Vix will be coming back. I promise you that one. I cannot promise you when they'll be coming back, but it's one of the ones that I think I'll pick up first. Where, as you can see, me, Vix, will be chatting with you guys, doing some casual stuff. Maybe even do things on, like, my Claymore or my polearm or stuff, you know. Maybe on the side, live streaming, I will do that instead, you know, that kind of stuff. Right now, though, these are kind of, incomplete builds. Oh, thank you, Noel. Right now, I don't have the best Claymore sets. I forgot to move Noel off of fucking... That explains it. I was confused in why some stuff was not going. I thought I moved her. I don't want to cook.
Huh. Where have you been hiding?
So, we're gonna have a rundown. Let me tell you about these particular accounts before I get a little too far. So, we've got the Claymore only account, where I only use Claymore users. And so far, I've got, as you can see, Noel and Beto. The characters that have been benched have been, so far, Emmer, Lisa, Kaya. And then we'll get into the other characters. Chi-Chi. My first 5-star, and it's a Chi-Chi. And the first pulls where I got 2 4-stars and the 5-star was both polearms. It would be very lovely for my polearm account, but my polearm account instead got Farzo. Which is useful, as in I can't use her on that account. Because the bows only account uses people like Farzo. I've come to learn also, with the case of the Claymore users, I've become very not caring about the weapons. As you can see now, all of them are refined, except for the polearms. Well, not polearms, but the claymores. I haven't gotten a single 4-star claymore like the bell. So that's, you know, lovely. I've also come to learn that doing some challenges, depending on who you are, I do not have those elements. Unlike the problems that I had with my polearm account, the claymore account actually has an electro. That being Beto. But I started off both the polearm and the claymore account as Geos. Noelle luckily could pull Beto faster than Eugen could pull another character. I did pull Yao Yao though. Yao Yao did come home on the polearm account. Not that that would have been hard. The one that's going to be hard though is getting Xiao within the limited time. It's fun. And then I would have to wait forever for his banner. Who's? Oh, there you are. In the case of the claymores, I've come to actually narrow down the fact that I have almost every element as a 4-star, and which is very useful. Very useful. Oh yeah. Whack me with that and die. So, it's going to come to a good screeching halt for the polearms for a while because a lot of their elements are locked behind 5 stars. Like, there isn't actually a pyro... Well, no. That's not what I was thinking. An electro polearm that's a 4-star. There's 2 electro polearms, if I remember correctly. Which results into no polearms of those elements. Actually, there's 1 electro polearm for sure, and there's 1 animal polearm. They're both 5 stars. We've got a cryo polearm of 4-star and 5-star. We've got the pyro polearms, 4-star and 5-star.
Hey, it's just
and we
a
got the
little
geo.
lightning. No need to fear it on the open ocean, so there's even less need to fear it on dry land.
Oh, that is amusing. Wait till you get whacked by lightning, Beto. Except for I put you in places that you can't. I've also come to learn that, well, yes, the next upcoming character is supposedly a polearm character. Cryo, also from Modstat. You know, our favorite.
Eyes on me!
We've come to an understanding that in the polearms, I'm gonna be hindered a little bit till I can get an animal polearm, and hopefully, eventually, I can get Xiao. We'll also be very limited in the case of the electro polearm because Sino. There is no other electro polearm so far that I know that is not a 5-star. So that's great. In the case of the bows, I don't have anything to worry about. The bows account has Amber by default. And Diona recently has joined the fray, so I actually have a cryo and can do a lot of the pyro and cryo stuff that my other 2 accounts, the claymore and the polearm, have struggles with. The other thing the bows have no problems with is the archer challenges. Now, what I'm going to end up doing... Thank you, Beto. What I'm going to end up doing, that if I do co-op, I'm not going to force other people to use polearms or claymores. Because those other people are going to be my friends, and I'd rather not put them through the torture. Only if it's puzzle related. I'm not going to put them through the torture. It's up to them if they want to use those said animo characters or bow characters. I'm sure my lovely Hare would not mind using her bow character on my claymore and my polearm, as long as I activate the puzzles, which is good. However, I'm not going to ask them to change it to those elements, unless, say, it's the polearm account, and I don't get the animal polearm, then we've got problems. I've also come to find some very interesting ways of doing some of these challenges, because that's the fun part. I have done so with the polearms. I have hit some good old animal slimes. However, if it's a time-related challenge and involves these slimes flying, we have problems. So I've come across many, 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 many problems so far with my choices, and that is okay. I will live with them. I don't regret those choices. If I regretted it, that'd be a different story. So, we're doing fine. So, yes, I have my Claymore account only, I have my polearm account only, and my bows only account. If you guys want to see some stuff involving one of those channels, well, accounts, do let me know. I don't mind finding it entertaining, but it's not going to be from the very beginning, so understand that. I'm not going to bore you through that. Especially since I've kind of have it to my particular rules that I do not start the challenge until I gain that type. So it ends up being that, like in the polearms, I don't gain one until either I wish them or I somehow reach to the Abyss Spiral to get the free one. And lucky for me, Eugen had answered my call. And I come to appreciate her a bit more lately. Since using her, because for a while she was the only polearm I could get. In the case of the bow using, it starts with Amber, ends with Amber, and only Amber. But I finally got Diana, so I don't weep too much. It does, however, become a testament to me going, yay. If I want to do a catalyst only, I will only restrict it to me playing it in my own time. Because someone else has a really nice series of only spells, and I've just literally binged the whole thing. Even though technically they're finished with it. Because they didn't set a goal. In my case, my goal is actually to complete what our conquests I do have, or can do, and go from there. The only issue I see with the Claymores right now is that, if I remember correctly, there is no Dendro Claymore user yet. There's a Catalyst and a Swords. Oh, there I go. I was doing it just fine, and then I had to push the W a little more. So, we've come to an understanding. While the bows have two Dendros, actually has a lot of elements tied to them as bow users, I could do pretty much every type.
Huh. Where have you been hiding?
Element, bow-wise. It'll become very interesting to learn some ways. And if I do anything that's co-op, I might, you know, maybe record it. We'll figure that out when the time comes. So, that's all I've been doing on my off time. I'm kind of doing this as more of a leisure stroll. Well, that's not going to get me much of anything. Oh, thank you. You just willingly killed yourself. Appreciate that. I somehow killed that one. However, I will state...
The more the merrier. First round's on me.
That I am going to slowly, once I get to where I can get better, like really, really better artifacts, I'm going to prioritize who I'm going to build and how I'm going to build them. This way, I'm prepared a little more ahead of time before I start actually farming for those artifacts. So, say I know what weapon I want them on, that I do have, and I will farm for those materials and those talents before I go farming for the artifacts. This way, I'm a little more prepared for whatever chaos. And I'll have decently good artifacts from the sets that I already have on the account and go from there. So we will see how that works. Beto has been saying this line for the whole entire time because I've been using Beto as kind of more of my damage dealer, like she's supposed to. There we go. Otherwise, I'm hoping to get more characters. If I have to spend money, I prefer not to on these accounts. But that is up to my compadres.
Where have you been hiding?
In this case, if to spend money for me to get a particular character, because I might be better off with that character. Like Xiao. But I'm not going to go over there and beg. I will suffer my polearm experience that I put onto myself and live with my consequences and be happy with it, because I am not making a series out of it. As I said for about 3 more times. To further the notion, if it comes to me streaming on my own, I might try to do Mondays. But Monday is also cleaning day for me in my case. So we will have to see on that front. Otherwise, I think my next streaming day will be Thursdays if they're not taken up, which is like I'm recording on Thursday, but it's I think taken up right now, which is why I'm recording instead of live streaming me going through and doing all of this stuff with Beto while ignoring a quest that I started. This is because right now my Claymore account is behind compared to my polearms, which I started earlier than the bows and the Claymore. And also, the polearms happens to be starting a quest, and by the time, I don't think I'll be able to finish it for the Lantern Rite event. Which is what I was hoping for to get Xiao, but if I do not have Animo, you have to finish that quest. Well, I'll see if I can speed it up. You know,
Where have you been hiding?
get the start it quest, but it'll be kind of difficult because then you need the Jade Chambers Rising, like, technically finish in one part. But if I technically don't finish the Archon quest, what would that make me? Who knows? I will never know.
Leave it all to me.
Right now, though, I kind of just don't want to burn myself out on my main account because farming for artifacts, I only just finally crowned my Diluc and Kaya by 1. And slowly we'll have to start crowning them even more. We haven't gotten to that point. But right now, I've been focusing my best attention on Diluc and Kaya's talents because artifacts farming has been only defense and defense only and defense, defense, defense. So I was hoping when I was doing the polearms, that my defense, because I got Yujin, would actually scale off on Yujin's account. Well, I didn't learn my lesson because I got Noelle on this account. The only one who I have not gotten defense for on these accounts is my bow using account. Because it doesn't have a Goro. I'm gonna save that, and Goro's gonna eventually come home, and that is okay. The other rule that I've set for myself is that if I need to use the Traveler for puzzles, I will. Because there are certain puzzles that you can't do without the Traveler, technically. Unless you got a Shangli, which only one of these can get a Shangli. And that would be the polearm account, because he would only be used.
Huh. Where have you been hiding?
So we are slowly but surely thinking through some stuff. Trust me. And I do like the challenge behind, you know, just one weapon accounts. And maybe in the future I might do a element only account. But it would actually probably only really work with Animo, because Animo's world event. Instead of doing things like Pyro only or Cryo only. And maybe because I just happen to not have the brightest brain cells, I can't work my way through some of those things, even if I wanted to. So I will just have to suck up the fact that I want to do my weapon onlys. Maybe I will do the Catalyst and Sword on my own time for fun.
Where have you been hiding?
And that way, I could main like Kokomi if I get Kokomi on my account. Not my main, but like if I did a Catalyst only and Kokomi had a rerun, then I could get Kokomi and main her, because I do love Kokomi. Despite the fact that I actually like being able to do damage, if I build Kokomi the way that I have my Kokomi build, I will. But that's for another day. For another thought. Also, am I trying to pad this out, maybe? I am kind of just trying to show that I've got a little more better grasp on these two characters that I don't ever actually use. This will actually come in handy for the Abyss Spiral if I get Noelle more built on my main. Because I plan to use her on that account when I get there. The issue is when I have time to build them. I mean, it's a difficult thing. I've done this before. I've done this with Eugene, so I'm not too worried.
Nice. I'm starting to lose count.
Yeah, you're only losing count because of certain stuff. Anyway, so that's what I've roughly been trying to do. I've been trying to entertain myself with these accounts. So I don't get burnt out. I mean, I'm enjoying Genshin, and I always love starting over, actually. Modset just happens to be my preferred nation, really. I know the story's kind of cheesy, and I also know that some things just aren't explained well. But in the end of the day, I actually really enjoy this nation a whole lot more than I like Liyue or Inazuma or even Sumeru.
Where have you been hiding?
And I like Inazuma. Inazuma's pretty. It is. It's very pretty. I don't just particularly like running around in it all that much. It becomes kind of like, it feels like a hassle for me to run around in Inazuma. I've only been prioritizing my Inazuma running really when I'm actually gathering materials. I mean, I enjoy it, but I also don't. It's kind of sad to say. Beta hasn't got her materials yet for getting to level 40 because I'm not there yet. And
Where have you been hiding?
as you can see, my adventure rank is not up there. But also on top of that, I have not been in the mood to go find her some of her jade stuff. So you can chalk that up to laziness.
Leave it all to
And I may do material farming for like fun little things. I'm like freaking die. Material farming's for like doing things with friends or whatnot.
to ashes.
I mean, I think that'd be really nice to do on my end. I don't mind the gathering, actually. It doesn't feel tedious or anything. Just
The more the merrier. First round's on me.
it gets tedious when I feel I have to go do it. And that's probably what's got my issues right now. On my main, that is. The shared account was fun, but because I'm the only one doing stuff on it, it's something. And that's not me being upset or anything. That's me actually not being able to find the words I'm looking for and me going, oh yeah, it's something, alright.
Guys, I'm starting to lose count.
It's more so the fact that there are times and places.
Steady as.
And I got the time. Most people don't got the time. That's kind of how we're gonna work that out. So we're going to try to kill this guy. There we go. If I get a better claymore on Beto. Oh, we overjumped that. Hold on. You just chilled there for a moment, my guy. Yeah, that's great. Oh, almost. I thought I could get up there. I guess I have to go to a high place. Hold on, I'll be back. I really cannot use bow users. We'll find a higher place to climb. It's okay, I'll get that.
The more the merrier. First round's on me.
Oh, chill out, Beto. Let's work our way up. I might as well get some of this stuff. I'm going to completely forget where that Sealy is going, because that's just my habit. I lose Sealies like I lose everything else. So, we're going to, that's how I'm going to be doing some stuff. If I decide to record, it's going to probably be me recording like
Where have you been hiding?
maybe something interesting that I'm doing in one of these accounts. You know, maybe I thought something was amusing and figured it'd be seen. Oh, the Sealy hasn't, okay. Or, you know, maybe we record something that's tied to me doing some co-op on one of these accounts. Who knows? I don't. I'm a spontaneous type of person. I don't script these, as you can obviously tell. Normally, I go do live streams, and I try to interact and do what I can. Trying to talk to myself is like me reminding why people gave me looks. Because I've always talked to myself, but, you know, people are uncomfortable and they think I'm a weirdo. So, I've kind of been struggling. I also don't have the greatest of topics. And by that, I mean I barely have any topics to talk about.
The more the merrier.
I don't
First
need to
round's on
kill
me.
these slimes, so we're fine. So that's just the fun little tidbits. Yeah. I think that's gonna be a good note to leave off on. In my case. Oh. Why can't you come down here? Fight me.
Eyes on me!
Time to clean up.
There we go. I got what I came here for. Honestly. So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining me on the Claymores only. This will not be a series. Understand that. And yeah. Bye-bye, my little foxies.